Fire, it's fascinating. Self-sustaining, well, until it runs out of fuel or oxygen or even leaches out heat too fast. Not likely to happen in this case. But I was watching this burn and I got to thinking about how long, how much stellar evolution it took to make the chemicals in that little pile of, well, particle board. The carbon, the hydrogen, the other elements. Just so I could enjoy a little warm glow in a fireplace on a little isolated speck in this huge cosmos. And all the plant matter that went into that had to evolve in a world that had to not just be in the habitable zone, it had to be in just the right place in the habitable zone, so that when it iced up, it had a chance of thawing, and when it got too warm, it didn't really overheat and go Venus. And there goes the phone. That's nice. Oh well. Such very specific conditions. You needed an orbit that was protected by some larger body further out so there wasn't too much incoming debris. You need a planet that produces enough gases so that it'll get out of a freezing cycle and be at the same time be close enough to a star that it can actually do that, and at the same time far enough away that it won't run away the other way and just bake off like Venus did. I think that the zone where you're going to get complex life around a star is a very narrow little, not just zone of distance from a star, but the star's got to be the right size and the right longevity, and the planet's got to be really within a very small ballpark of the right mass, so it's not too small, it's not too big. People talk about the Fermi paradox, and I'll probably revisit this in more detail some other time, but it's not a paradox to me. It's pretty specific, the conditions that get us where we are. And even our evolution, there's a couple of happy accidents, like we all have the same genetic defects that gives us small jaw muscles, which means that our craniums were able to grow larger. Things like that, okay, but the larger brains paid for themselves, and here we are. But it's an expensive experiment. Big brains have to pay for themselves quickly. Birds have very complex brains that do specific things really well, and they're highly dense and dense computing power, but they despite having relatively manipulative claws, they don't build spaceships. They use, at best, pieces of straw for tools. Given time, maybe. I don't know. I'd bet on raccoons ahead of them. Anyway, thoughts by a fire. Little ideas that go trickling through my head. And the camera's trying to warn me about something important. Yeah, that's it for this time.